Oh boy, the Egg Fleet. Favorite level. Goes on forever. Especially Final Fortress.
You fools must all have a death wish. Witness this invincible battleship built by the hands of a genius. Its power unmatched throughout the universe.
You'll regret this, Doctor. Even if I'm not real, I'm still the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay, Shadow, when did you get that memory back? That you're the ultimate life form. I know that throughout the every single time you score 2,000 bonus points, you say, "This is the ultimate power." But how did you get that memory back? Like, who told him that he's the ultimate life form? Has Rouge finally been talking? In which case, why did she tell him everything else? And why don't we see it? Yeah, there are more enemies in this opening section. There's a few more up there. For the sake of going fast, we'll ignore them. Probably go after them for the 100 enemies mission. Whenever you get the Falcos flying in the skies like that, sometimes they don't do anything, sometimes they'll drop off an enemy. Destroy the Falcos if you can. Try and let them drop off any enemies first, because that'll mean you'll get 2 enemies instead of 1. Because although the Rhino trains will count as, like this, he's going to come back. I think I missed, but if you're able to hit him, that's 2 enemies and 400 points. Which is not what that 400 was for the target. But yeah, so we'll showcase like how the Eggborns appeared before the Falcos did. Yeah, so that would have been 2 enemies right there. I'll show off more of those enemies in the opening section when we get to the extra mission. But we're going through all the stories before that. Right, anyway, Egg Fleet. Unlike Handcastle, which very slightly added an extra section to Team Dark compared to Team Sonic, this time it's the other way around. It's an even shorter change, because for some reason Team Dark, although they cover the same area, in which case why are the ships still here, because we just destroyed them with Team Sonic. I don't know which team was here first. But how is it that Team Sonic and Team Dark are capable of destroying the exact same ships at the exact same time? Or have we just got a bunch of very identical ships that all have the same layout to them? Yeah, that would explain the different enemies. That doesn't explain the ships being there. And why would Eggman have all of his ships have the exact same layout in the exact same position? I don't know. Now, there would be a checkpoint there for Team Sonic. Team Dark have a really long opening section. So if you're having trouble with this level, you're going to have a lot of trouble with this level. Because the first checkpoint isn't... I don't think it's until you get to the first battleship. Or it might be just after this rail section, actually. But it's a really long way to the first checkpoint in this level. If you're capable of jumping here, can we get it? Yay! Now, there is another one further up here. I actually made that. It's very rare I make that. In fact, I think that's only maybe the second, possibly the first time. I can never get up there whenever I've played it before. I wasn't keeping track. Did I hit a checkpoint? By the power of playback, I will see. Otherwise, well, now we know. It's not until you get to the first battleship. I don't know why it takes so long to get to the first... We would have hit like 2 checkpoints now by Team Sonic. I mean, I gather they're the hard mode. The checkpoints are a bit more spread out. Like with Seaside Hill, it took a bit longer to get to the first checkpoint than for Team Dark than it did for Team Sonic. For Team Sonic was just before the first triple loop. For Team Dark, it was much further down, like shortly before we got to the long ring trail. It was a bit further back than that, but it takes a considerably longer amount of time. Hold up there. I think it is possible for them to hit you if you don't hold anything. So obviously don't hold down. And don't get hit by the Falcos that are coming towards you because you accidentally hit the switch formation button twice. Team Dark do give you quite a lot of opportunities to skip the level here. Mainly with the Lightspeed Dash. They give you quite a few of them. So, yeah. If you get tired of Egg Fleet, you can skip the level, which is something I really like. Don't know why they bother giving you enemies there. I guess it's in case you've tried to fly over. Because if you go straight down, the pole will take you up and they'll just take you into that pole. which means you won't be able to kill the robot. I mean, you can fly back down, but why would you do that? Laser! Alright, got another ship. We'll ignore him. And there's another one. Yeah, you'll always automatically go into power formation when they do that. It's a good thing these characters are capable of jumping away from the explosions fast enough. Yeah, that section down there, that's the bit I was talking about for Team Sonic. I'm not sure which fan it is, if it applies to a particular team or every team, because I always avoid going there because of the issue where because you can't switch formations in mid-air, he's gripping through the ground. How is he doing that? Because you can't switch formations in mid-air, if you fall onto those fans without switching to power formation first, you can't switch formations and you are going to be stuck there because you won't be able to take the fans up. Yeah, if there's a fan below you, you should be able to fall down there and you'll just about come in contact with the fan itself. And that will allow you to switch formations. But should you fall onto the lowest fan and you can't switch formations, you're stuck. You have to restart the level, and that's design I don't like. That's pretty bad design in general, really. You should never have a point where you get stuck, and I just don't get why you can't switch formations in mid-air. I mean, yes, you don't need to go to the exact position that your teammates are in, because if they're falling down a bottomless pit, you're going to fall straight down there. But I just don't get why we can't actually switch formations in mid-air. Like, why can I can switch formations now? Why wouldn't I have been able to have done it in the air then? I don't know. Whoa, things going out of control here. I didn't come in contact with... I like how Shadow was struggling to get through the gap where there was no cannon that he could easily fit through. Let's upgrade Omega. And now everyone's a level 3. Yay! And again, I think it is possible for these things to hit you. Thankfully, the top ones don't seem to acknowledge my existence. So is it this battleship above me I'm going to? Like, where exactly am I going? Oh, I know. It just loads in, doesn't it? That's how it's gonna work. Oh yeah, let's actually try landing on this thing this time. Oh, nope, they blew up. Yeah, unlike the Rhino trains, I think I finished what I was saying earlier. Unlike the Rhino trains, you don't, it doesn't count when the Falcos just blow up once they've been activated. Unlike the Rhino trains where it counts if they hit the end of the rail, doesn't work with Falcos. These guys never attack you. I don't know why they bother putting them there. They don't attack you when you're on the propeller, and they don't attack you there. So I don't know why they bother, but that extra life is there for every team that comes in. You can drop down here with any team other than Team Chaotix because they don't go through this bit. Even Team Rose goes through this bit, and you can still do it with them as well. But waste a bit of time, so probably not too much of a point in actually bothering. But you know, it's a nice little extra thing you can do. If it gives you the option, I like that. Alright, I really don't like this part because of that cannon. Applies to every team, again, other than... I'm not sure if it's left for Team Rose, but it won't be left for Team Chaos because they don't go here. Yeah, the cannons can fire at you when you're down here. Again, some cannons just seem to fire further than others, and I don't know why that is. Like, sometimes you have to practically be next to a cannon for it to fire. Other times, you can be a long way from it. I mean, that applies to enemies as well. Like, the egg forms carrying the bazookas. Sometimes you gotta be right next to them. Or at the very least, they have to be on screen to fire at you. Other times they don't have to be, but they'll still be firing at you. Again, I bring up Mystic Mansion for Team Sonic. That one is firing at you from a very long distance. Let's attack this guy normally, because I believe there is another E2000 further up. And on the first ship, there would have been a few more robots that appear there. Right, take this guy out. And rather than destroying this ship, for some reason, we don't destroy it, and instead the goal ring is in a random case right here. I don't know why we don't destroy this shit. And that applies to Team Rose and Team Chaotix as well. They all have a goal ring right there, rather than actually destroying the ship. I mean, granted, big on a treadmill isn't exactly going to be something they can easily do. But I don't get why they don't destroy the ship. If Team Sonic can. And Team Dart destroyed the first one, why not destroy the second one? It's right there. Now it's the final fortress. A gargantuan of a level.
I'm feeling a bit uneasy. Time to attack.
I thought that battleship was big, but this is enormous!
Headquarters detected. Disruption mode engaged.
Missed. Right. I'm still going to try and take the upper path regardless. You can always do it that way. I don't actually recommend continually homing attacking that E2000 because that's the only way you're going to hit him. And you have to keep waiting for him to activate his shield again. But so just homing attack off of him once, then there'll be a few more egg pawns, and that's how you're supposed to get up there. Or you can just do it the way I did it. Anyway, final fortress is quite the fortress. Yet, surprisingly, one of the easiest A ranks for Team Dark. And the reason why I'm not exactly sure how reliable all of the A rank scores I'm putting on the loading screens are. Because, yeah, I'm pretty much, because I almost always get the A ranks on my first try, I don't know what the A rank scores actually are for a number of them. I thought that they were mainly multiples of 5. They were either like the 10,000 or the 5,000, like it might be a 40,000 or 45,000. Something like that. Apparently it isn't for some levels, but I'm not sure how reliable they are, and this is the main reason why. Because the sources on the internet tell you that the A rank score for this level is 100,000. And I was just, very first time I saw it, I was like, what? Because I've gotten the A rank on this level plenty of times without getting 100,000. Oh, my old profile, the one that you saw right at the beginning of the Let's Play, that I have from my previous playthrough, I didn't get 100,000 there. But it still counts. It's still an A rank and it's only in the 90,000s, and then I discovered it's actually about 60,000, or at least somewhere between 60 and 65,000, which is a hell of a difference and something that makes it considerably easier. And yeah, if you're fast enough, why am I going straight down there? If you're fast enough, you could probably still die at the first checkpoint and still get the A rank thanks to your time bonus. Even then, when I've done that, I'm still mostly skipping enemies because I'm trying to see if I can get like the closest to the minimum possible, just to experiment. And I was on the PS2 version just because that was the version I had closest to me at the time. Yeah, but the scores are no different between versions as far as I'm aware. And I just don't get why it does that. But yeah, this is a level where it's possible to get 100,000. If you're completing the level within a particular time, like you're trying to get time bonus, you might struggle with it. But if you're just going through the level pretty much destroying everything in your way, both this and Power Plant, it's perfectly possible to score over 100,000. Probably over 110,000. Because there's so many enemies, especially if you start trying to go after all of the bonus points as well. Yeah, I'll just keep going. I believe the E2000R is up here. Yeah, especially if you destroy the E2000Rs, because again, they're worth 10,000 points, and I'm pretty sure that was not supposed to happen. No, he wasn't up here. You lied to me. Oh, Shadow, don't do the light speed. Team Blast glitch, away! See how well I can do this time. No, it's going to be more difficult this time. Nope. It's really, you got to get the timing. It's pretty tricky to get. At this rate, I'm probably just going to end up filling my Team Blast cage by doing attacks. There we go. In fact, it probably would have been faster. I should have taken the bottom path. It's very rare that I ever actually have to use that Team Blast glitch. It's like, for many years I didn't even know it existed, and obviously if I was able to go that long without having to worry about it. I mean, I do still encounter times where I wish I had the gauge filled up. But, yeah, a few thunder shoots should get it. Watch out here, it's not a cannon, it's an E2000. Really annoying enemy placement there. I believe he's there for super hard mode as well.
You're thinking too much, Shadow. What? You too, Omega?
Yeah, Team Dark actually comment on the weather. Every team does. I'm not so sure about Team Chaotix, but Team Sonic and Team Dark and Team Rose do. Team Sonic only comment on it in super hard mode, and I don't get why they do that. I don't even think they comment on it in the extra mission. Could be wrong, but I don't think they do. Right, there's an E2000. You could just about see it off in the distance there. And because for some reason the characters wouldn't switch formations, no idea why there. I was pressing the button. I was on the ground. You have to triangle jump your way over that gap. And you have to get the timing right, otherwise you're going to hit this guy's laser. So wait for him to fire. The moment the laser disappears, go. And then you'll be able to make it in time. Right, we actually have to take the bottom path. Again, really not much of an issue when it comes to the A rank. You know, you just want to try and get the you want to try and get this level over with as fast as possible. But we're about halfway through it now. But they do have a lot of heavy air cameras here. So, you know, if you don't have a team blast, then that's going to cause the level to take a while. Camera. I keep, you know, force of habit. Most games I've played, camera's rotated with the right analog stick. So that's immediate, or the C stick, whatever you want to call it. So that's the first thing I do. And you technically can, but that's also how you go into first person mode. What they want you to do is hit L2 and R2, or L and R in this. I've mostly played the PS2 version, so that's why I keep saying that. They want you to hit the L and R buttons to rotate the camera. Yeah, take out the robots on both sides first, otherwise they will just attack whichever teammate's on the Switch. Not the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, so attack them on this side as well, then hit the buttons. I don't know why I got hit there. Anyway, I'm not sure where those cannons take you in the other formations, but they should, I believe they take you onto the rail should you jump on them in fly formation. Ooh, that had me worried there. But let's take a look. Yep, that's all they do, send you right into the middle actually. Again, I couldn't switch formation there. I already had it set to Omega, but because I was riding on the fan's current, couldn't do anything. And that's what can happen in Egg Fleet. You don't need to come up here. I don't know why they even bothered adding these extra rails here. Points, I guess? Right, just like before, I usually end up going backwards here, which I still am. So either try and turn around or just let yourself slide down, don't accelerate. Oh, look at this. And now look at it. 20,000 points plus him. Oh, they're so generous. It's like they want me to get the A rank. And there's the A rank. I don't know why the internet sources all say 100,000. I mean, it's the final level. Having the highest A rank score makes sense. Especially when it's something that's perfectly possible to do. But why is it 40,000 points less? See, this is where you start to have issues with your Team Blast. However, I shall do this a legitimate way, especially since I have somehow been able to knock off his helmet. How did I do that? Hey, destroy the case for me. No? Oh, it's robot proof, I guess. It's a good thing it doesn't destroy this thing as well. But I do wish they could destroy each other. Like, why can't enemies destroy each other? That's one thing I always like to take advantage of. If an enemy can destroy if enemies can destroy each other, yeah, that helps me out. But that doesn't apply here. I don't think any Sonic game that applies to. Although Sonic Unleashed, some enemies could attack each other, I think. In the HD version anyway, there's like the Titans can destroy the smaller enemies. And I think the Big Mothers can as well. Some of the Egg Fighters they shot out like rapid fire bullets out of their hands. They could destroy the other enemies, but none of the others could. Alright, it's just a long way. Even when he's knocked over like that, the collision detection on the hitbox is really weird. Like we've already seen, no matter how many missiles I fire, sometimes he just seems to stop taking damage. And I don't know why it's like that, but that applies to just about any attack. Even when you're doing your... I'm not even sure what it is Omega's saying when he does that. Yeah, it's not guaranteed to work. But what is he saying? So if you do it once, he says annihilation. But then when you do the second hit, it cancels it out. I think they do normally do a comment, but it got interrupted again. But I don't remember what that one was. It's like an impressive engineering feat, I must admit. Yeah, but I don't remember what Ruth says. It wasn't letting me switch rails for some reason there. I couldn't move. I don't know what happened there. And there are robots at the end of the rails. Watch out for them. Where am I speaking from? Whoa! Thank you, platform. I will forever love you. I feel bad, but well, actually we never do destroy this ship. The ship is still standing at the end of the game. Spoiler warning. I've made so many spoilers. This game's from 2003. I'm spoiling nothing. Ah ha ha! Oh, what's going on? Why is everything going so badly all of a sudden? Avoid the lasers. That's the idea. You need to avoid the lasers. Right, and then just keep holding the button down. Don't press it there. Watch out for the robots, which I do want to destroy. And we're just going to miss out on the time bonus, which is a very bizarre 10 minutes 30. I don't know why it's 10 minutes 30, not just 10. Well, can we get the most minute of time bonuses ever? How small is it going to be? It's probably going to be like 100. Survey says... Oh, okay, it's not... I guess it's not 10 minutes 30. 10 minutes 20? I know it's... Maybe it's 10 minutes 15. I don't know, because I know it's over 10 minutes. Don't know why, but it is. Well, that was a disaster at the end. Long loading screen is long for a boss fight. Come on.
Okay, no more games!
Intercept mode complete.
The end of the line, Doctor.
Enough of this! Shut up! Omega! To meet your favor, I'll show you what real evil is!
This is it. Let's go.
Okay!
Oh, here we go! And that's his charge attack. We never got to show it off. I never got to show it off for Team Sonic. I see. This is where trying to get the power cores is really annoying. I hate this fight so much. I have never liked the Egg Emperor fight. When it comes to, I know he's technically not the final boss, but when it comes to like end of story final bosses, I'd say this is the worst one. Along with maybe Mephiles Phase 2. Where the final section, your homing attack is quite broken. Broken in a bad way. You got EC1000s helping them out now. It's a good thing they're regular EC1000s. So they go down faster. We have same strategy as before, and now the I win button. That is what the Z button is here. Because now you can just thunder shoot him again and again and again, and he can't do anything. If you want a challenge, don't team blast. Or at least deactivate it. If you really want to challenge, don't team blast. It still damages him. Yeah, look, his health is now at like 40. Team Dark have such an easy time in this fight because of their team blast. It's as if to say, you know, we've given them a hard time. Let's give them an easy time now. Like, the Egg Emperor is so easy here. As long as he doesn't land on you, this is how I found out. He landed on me one time. I don't even remember how he did it. I can't remember if I let him do it on purpose or if it was by accident. Like an experiment or something, I don't know. But yeah, easy fight. Super easy fight. And at the end of every single battle, at least for the A rank, Omega will describe, he'll describe what he fought and then say, destroyed!
Eggman target completely destroyed.
Now let's find that secret treasure.
Prepare to destroy immediate area.
Hey, Omega, did I ever tell you that Shadow is a robot and... Oh, never mind. Good luck.
You know about cloning. The original must exist somewhere.
All this for what? Nothing? I might as well go look for that Master Emerald, since that irritating echidna is here.
Something's never changed.
What do you say? What else is that famous president supposed to do?
Wait, so Shadow, you remember that as well? In fact, at the moment, I'm surprised Shadow was even able to hear a thing Rouge was saying. Oh, the music's loud. But yeah, Shadow remembers that. He remembers that she chases after the Master Emerald. Why does he remember some things but not others? It's like a selective memory. So, And in fact, when Rouge says that, did I ever tell you that Shadow is a robot? That is a mistranslation. Unfortunately, I don't remember what the original wording of it was, but it is the result of a mistranslation. You know, he's not a robot. As I will continually say for Shadow the Hedgehog, he is not a robot. But one thing, if you don't want to find out, I don't know, cut your hand a little bit. If you bleed, you're not a robot. As simple as that. Then again, Metal Sonic is capable of turning himself into some kind of silver liquid, so I don't know, if it's silver, you're not a robot. Or you're silver, but anyway. Well, firstly, before I continue my rant, Team Dark's theme song, This Machine. I love this theme so much. This is my favourite theme in the entire game. As much as I like the opening theme, Sonic Heroes, as much as I love What I'm Made Of, this is my favourite song in the entire game. It's not my favourite overall, but it's my favourite song in this game. It's probably my favourite Shadow song overall. I'm not really that familiar with Throw It All Away from Adventure 2, and I like All Hail Shadow, both versions, but this, along with Never Turn Back, I love this theme so much. I love the music, I love the song, I love the scene. What I don't love is Team Dark's story, because again, so much of this could have just been solved if Rouge opened her mouth. And she opens her mouth plenty of times, but she opens her mouth for the wrong things. Like, all she has to do is just tell Shadow everything that happens. Going after Omega, okay, Rouge wants to know where his treasure is. Omega wants revenge for being sealed up in the room. Shadow wants questions as to why he's inside that capsule. Yeah, Rouge isn't going to know that. So that makes sense. But why doesn't Rouge just tell Shadow everything else? 'Cause she's the one that read Gerald's diary in Adventure 2. She knows everything. You know, she may not know exactly why Gunn raided the Ark. I don't know why Gunn raided the Ark. Adventure 2 never explains that, because it's filled with plot holes, and that one diary entry is filled with plot holes and retcons everything else we learned about Adventure 2. But at the very least, she can tell Shadow, you were created by Gerald, the ultimate life form, but on the Ark above the planet, which you can probably see somewhere in the sky right now. And there was a girl there named Maria. She was like a sister to you. You cared for her, but she was shot by Gunn. and she asked you, and you promised her that you will help mankind. Now, she knows all of this, but she may not. She may not know that last part about what he promised to Maria. You know, other than that, she knows everything else. But yet, Shadow seems to remember who Rouge is. He seems to remember he's the ultimate life form. He remembers how Chaos Control works. It seems to be a selective memory loss, even more selective than what it was before. And unfortunately, it's like this was all done just because unexpected fan popularity brought Shadow back, just so they could make it a story for the upcoming Shadow game. And that whole android thing never resolved. You know, it's not brought up again here. And even for Shadow the Hedgehog, it's a non-canon story ending. So I don't know if Shadow ever encounters the androids in the main story, because I'm not sure what you're supposed to follow before the final story. But, you know, that's a thing that's never resolved. So why even bother making it a thing? You know, it's something worth discussion. We saw it. It was on the Egg Albatross. Rouge and Omega just saw it there. And yes, Omega's just destroyed them all. But, you know, worth discussion. Anyway, that is the end of the longest section of Team Sonic so far. We still have their extra missions, and they will last a long time. Thankfully, that's not the case for the next team. It's time for the easy mode. And that is Team Rose, with Amy Rose, Cream the Rabbit, and, well, he's not there, but Cheese the Chow. And, for some reason, everybody's favourite character from Sonic Adventure. Hi, I'm back for another game, yay! Only I'm actually useful this time. But I still lost Froggy. Something tells me we're going to be hearing the word Froggy quite a lot. But yeah, Big the Cat is back. He's got a gold ring on his belt. Underneath his glove. Look, he's got a gold ring on his belt. Why can't we just use that? Get to the end of the stage immediately. But anyway, Team Rose is the easy mode. But that will be for next time. So, I will see you guys